You guys, welcome to today's video. Today is video 2 of the Dior Spring Summer release, which is so beautiful. And today I'm just going to do a different eyeshadow than the first one, but I'm going to use the other products as well because they're so pretty. And I will link the first video right here. You could take a look. And this one is a quint, I cannot pronounce. The quint I cannot pronounce. So I'm going to write it down right here. And it is Pink Loveliness. We're losing the light, so let's get into swatches right away. This one, this one, this one. My neighbor is consulting with a worker in the backyard, and he has a voice that carries. We're just going to forge ahead, and that's those 3 pretty ballet slipper colors. And then this one and this one, which might be a little bit more wearable. They look beautiful, and I do think for me, if this is a palette that is going to float my boat, these 2 colors are going to be the most important. And probably I could wear those day to day, even as one and dones. The other palette I had said, I think many of those shades can be one and dones, and I had already used one as a one and done. For this palette, these 2 would be the one and dones for me, from my skin tone. I love pink, but I think these pinks alone on my eyes don't really do much for me, for my skin tone, for my eye color, for my hair color, whatever. But I know it works beautifully on many people. I'm going to go with this color all over the eye. Again, there's no mattes in here, and this shade could be a topper. Just a little something, a little sprinkling on the eye, or it might be good for inner corner. And this is a squirrel brush. It's a Hakuhodo, and I just think, I don't know why I pulled for it. I thought it might be the best way to go. Dior shadows are just beautiful for crepier skin. Look at that. One and done. 100%. Now I'm going to go in with this pink shade. I spot cleaned this brush, so everything's fine. It might be a little wet still, so that'll be interesting. And put that on the lid. Over the taupe. You could certainly not put the taupe all over the lid in the first place, and this pink color will stand out a little bit more. Super pretty. Eyes closed, eyes open. Again, for me, this is the kind of look I love to wear. I could just do the brows, do the mascara, and be on my way. But we're not going to do that. Of these 2 pinks, you may or may not be able to see, this one has a lot more white in it. This one is more vibrant. And I'm going in with this Refer brush, 02, and I'm going to layer that on top of this other pink, just to see. And again, because I already have that taupe down, it will look different on the eye than it does on the swatch. Really pretty. Hello. Refer does a whole bunch of these, and this is the largest one. I can't find one that's in between, so I have one that's really small. I want something a little bit in between. And my choices for inner corner, this and this. This is more of a sparkly kind of thing that would be good if you're not hooded, just as an overcoat. And this one is pretty bright baby pinky right here. I'm gonna go for it. I'm wearing blue, so I'll be the blue and pink girl today. Super pretty. And now I'm just going to relax the eye and go in with my concealer brush to give some shape. And this is where the inverted V comes in. And I do the inverted V because my hood sinks below my lower lash line. And if I kind of, this is the area that goes below here. There. And then you can just go over with your fingers so you are sure that it's not too harsh of a line. And I am going to stop the camera, do my brows, hopefully they'll stop talking, do a little tight lining, a mascara, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I've done what I said I was going to do. I'm, by the way, testing a new foundation to me, and I will link that right up here. I'm not sure when it's going up, so the link might not be live right now, but I will remember to put it in later. I think you can do it after it's posted. And now we're going to go in with this beautiful, beautiful Spring Delight blush, also new from Dior, and also in the other eyeshadow video. But if that shadow wasn't interested to you and you just wanted to see this one, I'll go ahead and do a swatch. So I would just love to get pink on my cheeks because it's pink. Let's see what this looks like. And it's right here. So pretty. There's a little bit of a reflection in this. You know, the first time I did it, I had a matte foundation on, and I could see that, but it's very subtle and very, very pretty. So if you don't like a matte, you might really, really like this. And if you do like a matte, you might not like this, but I just don't think it's a lot. I just think it's super, super pretty. And with the lip color, I got a matte Balm, which I think is new for them. It's a little confusing because they have several categories now. And this is 768, which is just a perfect kind of pink. It's not a baby pink. I'm going to swatch this as well for you. It's not a cool pink. It's, I think it's maybe a little bit of a warm, really neutral pink that'll suit a lot of people. And this is my color palette. It's just beautiful. It's funny because when I first saw these two palettes, let me get the other one. Here you go. My eye was drawn to this and I thought, what? That's not my thing. This is my thing. And I looked at this, I'm like, yeah, this is the one I want. But I couldn't ignore that my eye was drawn to this one. So I got both. And I figured, you know, one or the other will make it reveal itself to me as, yes, this is the one that works for me. But you know what? I think they both work. And like I said in the other video, again, if you didn't see it, I feel like Dior just does such a beautiful, beautiful job with shadows that are great on crepey lids. So they just blend in wonderfully. There's no mattes in either of these, which is usually a problem for me, but it's not. It's not like Charlotte Tilbury where there's not a matte and, you know, my hood is just beaming out and it looks so much bigger because of all that reflection. You saw that I brought the shadow quite high, but I don't think it's emphasizing my hood at all. There's something about these shadows. Very special, very good for older lids, very good for hooded lids. But their color stories are also very, very special. They have, to me, a sophistication about them, a very ladylike nature to them, but not old-fashioned. They are, to me, modern, chic, just perfection. Sometimes the color stories they don't really float my boat. My favorite is the cashmere, so wonderful. Last spring they did a couple of palettes that were pretty warm. They were beautiful, but not really my jam, and these, my jam. And what's interesting is this one looks like it's a warm palette, but your eye kind of goes to a color and it just says something to your brain and you're like, oh, warm palette. But if I cover this up, you're not thinking warm palette anymore. You're thinking, this is an interesting neutral palette. And that's exactly what it is. Now this, you'd have to cover up a lot to say, oh, this isn't a pink palette. But if you don't consider these bright ones, these are kind of fleshy tones for me. This is a bit of a fleshy tone, and this is a beautiful, beautiful taupe. The looks are slightly different, but they are both incredibly beautiful to me. Very spring, very fresh, very age appropriate. And, you know, of course, I never want to say for older women or for mature women, because for everybody. But if you have crepey lids, if you have hooded lids, which can happen to any age, these are shadows that you need to try if you haven't tried any of the Dior's, and they have a huge selection. Love this blush and love this lip color. So for me, this is a great success. And you guys, that is going to wrap up part 2 of the new releases from Dior for spring 2022. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart. I'm wishing you good health.